So, hello, everybody. I thought it was really important for me to kind of stop by because this thing seems too really close to me. I don't know. But I thought it was important for me to just kind of stop and say out loud, thank you to everyone who has called me, who have sent well wishes, who have stopped by. Just every form of gratitude that you guys have given me. I certainly appreciate that. I want to say thank you. And for those who may not know, what I'm talking about is this. So today is Sunday. Let's see, March 2nd. And 3 days ago, February the 27th, I was in a really bad car accident. And I'm really not even sure how I walked away from any of that, right? So let me just kind of give y'all an account of what it was from my perspective. So I'm born and raised in Atlanta, and I have seasonal allergies. Every year the weather turns hot, goes from hot to cold, cold to hot. My allergies start to kick in, and it shows up in different fashions for me. So my allergy shows up in different fashions for me, right? One time I remember my lips being really dark, and I remember wanting to walk around telling people that I don't smoke cigarettes because my lips looked like someone who smoked because it was my allergies. I'm kind of explaining a car situation that I was in the other day. And so what I noticed last year, going into fall last year, my cough and my sneezes have been really bad. Like they were really hard. And who sneezed so hard? So anyway, I remember going into fall last year, I sneezed. I was driving on the highway and I sneezed really hard. And for a few seconds, it was dark. And then I saw specks. And I'm like, shit, that's not normal, but that's scary. But that was it. Never happened. Anything happened again. And then last Wednesday, which was the 26th, I can feel my allergies start to kick in again. So I'm coughing a little, what have you. And then the next day, Thursday, I'm coughing even more, harder. And I was at work during this time. And so I sit at my desk and I cough really hard. And the same thing happened last time when I sneezed. So I coughed, and for a few seconds, it was dark, and then I saw specks. And I'm like, wait a minute, like this is just not right. I think I better go home. And so I decided to leave work that day. I decided to leave. Hey, Norma. Decided to leave out on my way home. And I'm trying to control my breathing so that I will not cough. I work in like Hateville area, and I live more so Stone Mountain. So all the way home, I'm I'm controlling my breathing because I don't want to breathe too deep because I might cough or I might sneeze. I ain't trying to do all that. So I'm controlling my breathing all the way home. And I'm on the highway doing my thing, controlling my breathing. I get 2 minutes from my home. And I'm like, shit, I gotta sneeze. And the next thing I remember is smoke being in my car. And I'm trying to figure out, I was like, why am I seeing smoke? And I look to my left, I'm like, why is my airbag deployed? Did I have a freaking accident? It didn't make sense to me because I was just driving the car, and the car now has smoke in it. And then the car, my airbag had deployed. Like I had blanked out to the point where and I hit a pole. So that I hit a pole and broke the pole in half. And even me passing out, hitting the side. So there were two young guys. They were so good. I wish I had gotten their names. But they were two young guys that stopped behind me. And they were asking me, just help me out of the car and ask me if I were okay. But they said to me that so the guy said, He said, I saw you hit the curb, and I thought maybe you were asleep, whoever's asleep, and that maybe you hit the curb, it will wake you up. He said, but you kept going. And the crazy thing is just, so I had to crawl. So when I tried to get out after the accident, after I hit and I realized that my car had smoke in it and my airbag had now deployed, I had to crawl out of the car. So my driver's side door was lodged kind of into the ground. So I couldn't get out of my driver's side. I had to crawl over to the passenger side and get out of the car. So when I got out of the car and I saw the damage, and my sisters have post pictures, and I do the same thing. But I just grabbed one of the young guys. He was holding him, and I just kind of grabbed him and just started crying in his chest because I had no idea, first of all, that I was even in an accident. Secondly, that I had hit a freaking pole and laying all around me were live wires. And truthfully, I probably shouldn't even be talking about it right now because I keep getting emotional. And the interesting thing is, I went to the hospital and I've been good for days. But post-traumatic PTSD is real. I've never experienced it before, never even thought about it for myself. But it's real because it wasn't until yesterday that I literally started crying. Allowed myself to cry and allowed myself to feel that I could have been taken away. And then I hear this thing about Angie Stone, and no one is exempt from leaving this world. And so bring me back to the whole thing. So once I got to, we called the ambulance. So first of all, let me go back here because I set up, I don't know if you guys have done this or not, and I can go over with y'all if y'all haven't. Apple phones are the bomb. When I first got my Apple phone, I set up emergency contacts, and that was years ago. Hadn't thought about it again. But after this happened, all of my family started to call me. They had gotten an alert telling them that I was in a crash, and I didn't know that. I had no idea because I had forgot about that a long time ago. But what it does is, like, you set up in your iPhone and you tell your iPhone who are your emergency contacts. And it alerts people if you have had a crash. And my sister tells the story. Well, my husband tells me my husband he drives for a company. So he wasn't in his car, in his vehicle. He was in a company vehicle, but he was up north, like an hour away from his house. From his job. So 2 hours away from home. And after he got this message, he kept trying to call me. It's going to voicemail. My sister's doing the same thing. And so it was interesting. It's interesting to be telling the story firsthand. Again, I wanted to make sure that I got on here and said thank you to everybody, but let's see, let me go back because I forgot about. So after the accident, the ambulance came, and the paramedic told me that she felt I needed to go to a trauma 1 center because of the accident I had gone to. So they took me to Grady, and I'm glad they did. And people can hate on Grady all they want, but Grady is the freaking bomb. Grady took x-rays. They took a full body scan and made sure that I didn't have any internal bleeding. They tested me for everything. And thank God that I walked away with no scratches. There were so many things that could have gone wrong. I could have been electrocuted because live wires was all around me. I could have run over somebody. I was very close to a high school, and there'd be so many people walking. There was nobody walking on the street where I was that day. And so, just to my blessing, I thank God, because I don't know if I could have hit somebody and been okay the day after that. But I walked away unscathed. Well, I say unscathed. I walked away unscathed physically, but I realize emotionally I'm not there. And I have to be vulnerable right now to say that, because I usually am that person that sometimes it's hard being me, because I don't cry a lot. And I don't get emotional. I'm the type of person that figure out how to get the next step done. Like, okay, we got this situation. Let's figure out how to make it work. So I'm not cold. I'm logical. And so because I'm logical, it's hard for me to know, or if I guess I'm trying to say that I'm making sure that I'm able to be vulnerable in moments like this as well, to allow myself to be vulnerable. Thanks, Janelle. Thanks, Janelle. It was good seeing you yesterday too. But I want to make sure that I give myself vulnerability and okay in this moment, because it really was a traumatic experience for me. I've never experienced anything like that again, and I don't wish that on anybody. But it's been a tough 2 days. I'm still getting out and trying to make things work and try to make things happen. But emotionally, I am not where I usually am. But I've had so many people. My husband is listen to me. I just thank God for him so much. He has been so good. I'm talking about, first of all, of course, once he got out of work, he's in the hospital with me, sitting on my bed, would not leave my side, taking me anywhere I need to go. These people, because I totaled my car. I have to show pictures of my car when I'm finished. But he's just been so good. And I thank God. And for you guys who have someone special in your life, make sure that you are thankful, and make sure that you're showing them that you're thankful for them. My sisters, my daughters are so amazing. One of my daughters was followed me in the ambulance all the way to Grady. My other daughter showed up down there right afterwards. But she showed up. First of all, she showed up on the scene, and they don't play the music about their mom. They first of all, they're like me. They're going to talk. They're going to ask questions. They're going to get to the bottom of things, and they're going to ask all the right questions. But they were really good about the whole situation, and I just am appreciative of family. My sisters, bless their souls, Lord, they're so good to me. They have when they got Tasha tells them the story. Oh, I got to give y'all a few stories. So my husband told me once he got the alert that I had been in a car accident, he was up north, 2 hours away from home, in his work vehicle. He had to leave under those kind of duress. His friend had to keep calling him, making sure that he was okay, because he knew that he was riding home knowing that I had been in an accident. It was stressful for him. My sister Tasha tells me the story of how she was sitting in her car waiting for her grandson to get out of the car, and how her phone started making this really weird noise. And she said, but it was so weird. It was a noise that I had never heard before. It wasn't like an alarm, or it wasn't the phone ringing, but it was a weird noise. And she said it was so weird, it made you look at the phone. And she said when she looked at it, she couldn't understand what she was reading. Like I know that you're not saying that my sister's been in an accident. And so she started trying to call me. My phone was going to voicemail. My daughter Sydney and my sister Shan were in the same place, and they got the message that I had been in an accident. And for y'all who don't know the message that I'm talking about, Apple phone has this feature of emergency contacts, where if you put all of these people on your contact list, if you're ever in duress or some kind of way, it will alert these people. And on the 27th, I was in a really bad car accident, and it alerted all my people. And so my daughter and my sister was in the same place. And when they got the alert, my daughter tells the story of saying, like, oh my God, my mom has been in an accident. And my sister got the same alert. She's like, But shit, she's my sister, so I gotta go too. They both left. Hold on. It's a lot. It's a lot. Telling it from my perspective. You know, I said earlier that no one is exempt. When I hear this thing about Angie Stone died in a car accident the other day, no one is exempt. I don't know how I walked away. I don't know. My daughter Kristen was in her, she said she was in her car, but she was sitting in the driveway. And when she got the alert, and it also pinpoints, the alert pinpoints, it tells everyone exactly where you are. And she just started following the directions. And she came right to me. I'm so sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on. Sorry about that. But yeah, she tells the story about how she was in her car, Kristen, and got the alert, and it pinpoints exactly where you are. And how she just started following the pin. So anyway, but I walked away. And again, physically, I'm fine. But emotionally, I'm not there yet. And I got to give myself a moment to get back. Not necessarily sure how, but I'm working on it. I appreciate y'all, but apparently I'm too emotional to be even doing this whole thing. So I'll check back in with y'all again later. Thank y'all so much for y'all support.